Ma'am, do I begin?
Yes,
Should we start?
Okay. A very good evening to all of you present here for the pre-incubation program organized by the Hind College Incubator and Accelerator Center. They say the best way to predict the future is to create it. The very thought of beginning your own venture may seem exciting, but also a bit frightening because you have to be ready to expect the unexpected. So to share his entrepreneurial experience and learnings with us, we have the founder and CEO of Clador, Mr. Sudhir Sevani. He's also a Hind alumnus, and his journey is truly inspirational as he overcame whatever came his way to build his brand and to reach where he is. We welcome you, sir. Over to you.
Okay, so hello everybody. So as she told, I'm one of you guys. I'm 24 years old, and I did my BMS from Hind College 2018 batch, and I started during college. I started my business Clodo. So currently, Clodo is a bespoke clothing brand for men. We have 2 stores in Bhopal and a full-fledged working factory in Bhopal with 25 workers and around 32 machines. So today I'm going to tell you a very interesting story. This story is obviously very close to my heart because it is my story. But I can say this is the story of every business, and very few people in my life know about this. And I'm very lucky to share the story with you guys today. And even you guys are lucky to hear this story because this is not a success story of a 100 crore business. I have not made a 100 crore business yet. But it's the story of the process of how this business will grow and what I can do with it. One sec. Yeah. So I'll be telling the story from the beginning, from the first semester of my college. I came to Bombay as an outstation student, and I came with my dad. So my dad is obviously a very busy person. So he came with me for 2 days. I filled the forms and everything. And the first list of Hind came. And because of the Sindhi quota, I got in the first list. And my dad didn't even wait for the other colleges' result. He said, we just filled the form. And the first flat which we saw was in Malabar Hill. The rent was around 50,000 a month. So he didn't even listen to me. I said, let's see some other flats also. And we finalized the flat. So he went back to Bhopal, and immediately I calculated that I'll be spending around 50,000 a month in Bombay, and which doesn't include the college fees. And the college fees was so low that I didn't even expect Hind will give something to me. So I was just spending 50,000 rupees in a city like Bombay, and I thought let's do something, because even if I didn't consider myself rich in Bombay because I was a normal middle class guy coming to a new city. And instead of earning, because I didn't know anything that I can do so that I can earn money, I thought of saving. So I started learning cooking and stuff so that I can save money. I started cleaning my house that I'll save money and I'll just start with my new life. So when I reached college, there were many opportunities. There were social entrepreneurship groups. There was our college festival, Talash, and many more things. The subjects were for the first semester, they were quite easy for me because I was from commerce background. So I thought I can have a lot of time myself, and I can do something more than just the normal lectures and normal subjects which I'm studying. So I just didn't know what should I actually do. So I joined everything. I joined the social entrepreneurship department, and for that we also came up with some idea which was rejected in 2 to 3 minutes only. And then I started working for Talash in some department, some of the other department, and then I just got to know that on the day of the orientation, Rakhi ma'am just told about Green Soul, and I'm sure that every Jainite just knows the story of Green Soul. So I was very fascinated by the startup world. I thought that this might give me a lot of respect and confidence which I need. And then came the college project which was Raki ma'am's subject only. It was Principles of Management, and we had the two divisions had to present a business plan. And in my division, we were 72 students, and all of us every person came up with some or the other idea. But my idea was selected. It was a normal platform where you can deal in second-hand books. So we were supposed to be the middlemen in that, and there will be a buyer and seller. So at that time, there was no company doing such things. But if you search right now, there are many companies doing the same thing. So this was the first idea which I came up with in college. We worked on it the entire college. The people in my class, everybody worked for it. And finally, the day of the presentation was there. It wasn't a competition, but if it was a competition, then definitely we were the losers. So that day, it was a reality check for us, because the other division's plan was so good, and the people in that division had such clarity in their business idea. So that day I realized that, okay, this is a reality check. I don't know anything, and I have to be down to earth and open to other ideas, open to learning stuff. So then then what happened? Then I continued with Books Exchange. The name of that project was Books Exchange, and this was the first semester I'm talking about. And then came the second semester. I called my dad and told him, "Hey, Papa, I just think this is the thing I want to do." And the entire class actually appreciated, and we are doing great, and I'll be continuing this. So my dad said, "Hey, Veda, your elder brother is not coming back to business, family business. So I want you to do something related to your family business." So now I'll be telling you about my family business, what it was at that time. So we were Raymond authorized dealers since 1957. My grandfather started this, and we had a small store in Bhopal. Through that store, different brothers opened their other stores. But at the time of this period, we had just one store. My dad was owning this store, which was a Raymond authorized dealership. We sold fabrics for men's suits and shirts, trousers, everything. And there was also tailoring service provided, but that was outsourced. We used to call local tailors to our store, take the measurements, and the outfits were delivered. So I said, if you're doing this family business, Papa, so I don't know where can I enter this. So he said, there's a different section, different segment of it which you can join, and that's the uniform segment. So I told him, okay, let's try that. I researched about it. I found I searched for different places where you can sell uniforms, where there's a dress code proper in offices and banks or wherever it can be. So for that, there was a store near to my house. I lived in Malabar Hill. So there was this store. There were 3 stores in line: Vandana Fabrics, Saroj Fabrics, and Milan Fabrics. So at that time, I didn't know what these stores were doing, but I saw their stuff, and there was always a dress code proper, sky blue shirt and navy blue trousers. So I thought this is something I can approach them and I can sell something or the other to them. So I called my father, told him to send some samples, fabric samples, so that I can roam around the city as a normal salesman and sell these things. This was the second semester I'm talking about. So my dad sent me those Raymond booklets, which had fabric samples attached to it. I started carrying those samples in college so that, I'll show off in front of my friends and boast I'm doing something or the other. And but I didn't even know anything about that fabric also. That was the cheapest fabric you can get from a Raymond shop or any Raymond outlet. So I carried those samples and went to the store, Vandana Fabrics. I wore the best shirt I had at that time. In college, we used to wear shorts, but for this, I was wearing a proper shirt and trouser. I visited Vandana Fabrics. I met the owner through some contact. And I told him that, sir, I'm doing this thing. And he said, you just have got 2 sample booklets. I said, yes. So he said, I need more samples to choose from at a lower price range. So at every point of the story, I'll just concentrate on the story first. And at the end, I'll be telling you the learning from each and every bit of it. So at this time, I, got the need from the customer. And I then again called my dad, ki, Papa, I need other samples also. You have sent me 2 samples. He's asking for more. So he said, ki, I actually don't have time for this. So just go to Kalba Devi or any other place and find it yourself. So then I was introduced to the Kalba Devi world, which was the hub for fabrics for the entire country, because it supplies fabrics to the entire country. From Kalba Devi, there are so many dealers they deal in. So I went to Kalba Devi from college. It was close from college also. After college, I always went to Kalba Devi and just searched for different suppliers so that I can get some samples done. And after 4 to 5 visits, I managed to get around 6-7 samples of different brands. Siaram, Sitaram. I didn't even know any name of the companies, but I got different samples. And then again, I visited that guy, Vandana Fabrics. Shamji uncle, I remember the name of that guy. So now he told me, okay, you've got these samples, but I like Raymond only. मैं तो ऐसे ही सोच रहा था कि how can I tell you to do something? But he gave me a job actually. So for 2 to 3 weeks, I was just concentrating on getting something for him. Then he said, I'll be giving you an order after, at the end of the financial year. So, okay, I said, okay. And then for the next 2 to 3 months, I was just like, every week I used to visit him. Normally, I used to sit outside his office to take my first order. So he always thought, what this guy does, he was always reading his newspaper. He used to tell his servant ki usko bolo ki baithe rahe wahin par hi. And then after half an hour, 1 hour, he used to call me in. And finally, after 4 months, I managed to get my first purchase order, which was for 62,000 rupees. And when I was in my room last night, remembering this, I actually found the purchase order also. This is the first purchase order I got, and out of the 62,000 rupees, my profit margin was 4,000 rupees. And I was a newbie. I didn't even know that this doesn't include the transportation cost, because that has to be paid by the person buying it. But even they knew that I'm a newbie, and they took full advantage of it. And I had supplied the goods. I was dating a girl at that time, and I went with her to supply those goods. I was actually carrying those bundles of fabrics on my shoulder and supplied those fabric. And she was like, what are you actually doing in your life? So this was the first purchase order. But after this, I actually got different orders from different stores, because I had a name, I had a client, I had some confidence that yes, I can supply something to some group. So through Vandana, I got orders from Milan Fabrics. I got orders from Saroj Fabrics. And I also went to this big store, you must have heard it, Nali Silk Sarees. At that time, it was a very huge thing for me. Because,
so Sudhi, sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to ask how old you were when you got your orders. Huh? What was their age?
This was second semester. So I guess I was
19, 18.
19, yeah. Because September is my birthday. So 90, I was 19.
Okay. Go ahead. And if doesn't, how old are you now? I think you must be 23, 22, no?
24. I'm 24.
24. Okay, fine. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, through Vandana, I got 3-4 more orders. And at the end of the second semester, when there's a presentation, like there's proper orientation and parents come. So other people were having different things. My thing was fixed. That Sudhi got an order of 1 lakh rupees, and I actually got a little famous. So I had something ki haan, thoda sa respect mil raha hai. So let's go forward with this and let's continue doing this. So then came Nali Silk Sarees, and Nali Silk Sarees ke owner se I met. He was Mr. Balakrishnan. He told me ki why do I think if I buy from you, I'll be buying at a higher rate, because you're dressed so well, you look good, and I've been buying these fabrics from those ugly Kalba Devi guys, but you look normal, smart guy. So I think I'll be spending more. So I said, sir, you were spending less, but you were spending at a very cheap product. So I sold him Raymond ka shirting, and that was the biggest order at that time I got. It was for 450 meters of fabric at the rate of around 180 rupees. So that was another order I got. And then came the third semester. I came back from from my city, and I thought, let's go forward with this. And for this, I thought, let's study more on this. So I wanted to study about fabrics, about textile manufacturing and stuff. So I looked online, and I got to know about an institution, Sasmira Institute. It was in Worli, and it had a diploma course in apparel merchandising. So I didn't have anything to do with apparel merchandising, but that particular diploma had 7 subjects, out of which one subject was textile manufacturing. So I paid the entire fees, whatever they asked for, 35,000. And the classes were only on Sundays. 7:30 a.m. was the textile manufacturing class. And after that, I realized that you don't get the opportunity to leave the class. So I sat for textile manufacturing, and then I had to attend the other lectures also, which were actually of no use for me. They were teaching export, they were teaching, I don't know why I slept in class, but I just went to study one subject. I didn't have the intention to even give the exam. I didn't even give the exam. I don't have the degree, certificate, diploma, anything. I just went there, learned about something in textiles to gain the confidence which I needed. But as I told you, throughout the story, I won't point out the learnings, but at the end, I'll tell you some very interesting points related to this. So in Sasmira, out of the 7 subjects, one was fashion designing. At that time, I didn't even know that my entire future will be a life of a fashion designer. Right now, what I do is what a fashion designer does. And my entire business, like no one in Bhopal or any other city my clients are in, they know that I've done designing from Mumbai, NIFT. They don't know anything that I'm a normal Jain ka BMS student. So they think that I'm a fashion designer. I'm not a fashion designer. But in these classes, because I had to sit for the lectures, there was this amazing teacher, and she taught fashion designing. She, on the first day, she taught us to take measurements of a mannequin, of a male mannequin, for a shirt or for a trouser or for a coat. At that time, I thought this is something related to my business. So let's go for it. Let's learn thoda, so at least I can, sit for this. This was interesting. So now, as everyone knew that I'm doing something in the men fabrics range or men clothing range. So in college, one guy approached me. He was my batchmate. He told me that, Sudhir, my brother has a factory in Surat, and he wants to gift something to his clients on Diwali, and he wants to talk to you. So he gave him my contact. This guy called me. The name of the industries was Santosh Industries Surat. So what these people were doing, they were providing yarn to the big mills to produce fabric. So whatever clients they were having, they were big clients. So I told him, give them that shirt and trouser ka pair. So he said, I have a particular thing in mind. You provide me with towels or hand towels, and put the name of the clients on that, like through printing or through embroidery or anything. So this was something new for me. There was a need, and I thought, okay, let's go for it. So I again called my dad, Papa, hand towels ka business shuru kar rahe hain. So send some hand towels. So he said, hand towels kahan se laun? Because we were selling fabrics and stuff. So then I arranged some hand towels from Mumbai. I arranged around 30 hand towels, ranging the particular quality which they were asking for. And then I went to this teacher in Sasmira, do you have any contact for embroidery or stuff? So then she gave me a contact, and the place was Dharavi. And then I went to the biggest slum of Asia, and with those 30 hand towels, and there was a narrow lane. Inside that lane, there was another lane. Inside that another lane, there was another lane. So I was like, I'll get kidnapped in like next 5 minutes. And then I reached the particular place where she told me to go. I didn't even know how that guy managed to bring the machines inside that area. But the contact was really good. He made all my samples, and he charged me a good bit for it. I sent the samples to Surat. This guy changed something or the other, the font or something. And then he ordered me 2,500 hand towels with embroidery. And this was the biggest order at that time I took. It was for around 3.5 lakh rupees. So this order also has a very interesting story behind it, but I'll tell you at the end. So I got this order, completed this order on time. with all the packaging. And when I took this order, I took it on cost price. So whatever I had calculated, I took it on cost price. I told my dad we were supplying these hand towels, but we are not earning anything. We are just doing this thing. So my dad told me, I'm in business for 35 years. Without earning, so I won't be doing anything. So from 30 rupees, he brought the price to 8 rupees for the embroidery. We got it done in Bhopal only. He got the price for the hand towels also. So on the 3.5 lakh, whatever order I had around 50% gross margin, which was, then again, I was excited. Let's do something in the gifting area also. So now, Santosh Industry order was done.
So that time also you were making profit and you were studying, right?
No, actually, because I spent on, completing the order, I was not earning anything, but this was some small orders I was getting. Okay. So then came the 4th semester. So right now I'm doing uniform business and whatever stuff I told you. In the 4th semester, there was this brand Bombay Shirt Company, which was gaining a lot of, attention. So this guy got his funding also from someone, and Bombay Shirt Company was doing wonders. So then I thought that this is also related to my family business, and Bombay Shirt Company, what it does, it goes to people's places, it shows the fabric samples, and then gets the shirts done and delivered to you at your doorstep. It also has a retail store. So I thought, let's do this. And so this was, I didn't have any idea with me. There was nothing new. I was just doing things which was already present in metro cities. I was just copying that thing in old, new cities like Bhopal, small cities. So this was also like an idea for me. So I thought, let's shift now, because uniform ka thing, so I don't know where will it go. So I had 4 to 5 clients which were ordering once in a year. So that was the order, the criteria of the order they were giving me. And now with a similar plan as Bombay Shirt Company, I decided to do this. And for that, I searched online that what's the most expensive suit you can get, and starting about suits and bespoke tailoring and stuff. I didn't know all these names at that time also. I just know tailoring hota hai, tailor aata hai, measurements leta hai. I searched online, and then I realized what's the meaning of bespoke, what's half canvas suits, what's full canvas suits. So what's canvas, I didn't know about that. So I'll just brief you a little about it. So inside a suit, there's a padding inside. So there's a canvas. So at the time when Britishers used to work, there was no Chinese interruption. So at that time, there were artists which used to hand stitch those suits with that canvas. So that canvas was horsehair canvas at that time. So those were at that time, wearing a suit was a luxury, like you were owning a Rolls Royce, it's like that. So then came the Chinese, they brought this another fusing material, which if you put heat on it, it will stick to the fabric. So this was a change, like deal breaker for the market. And then all those workers shifted to this thing, and no one was making half canvas, full canvas suits. I then searched online and I found 3-4 brands in Bombay, Kachins, SS Home, and some other brands. I went to these stores as customers. I need a suit for my brother's wedding, and lie about everything. And then got to know about their concept. And then I told them I want to do the same thing in my city in Bhopal. So will you be willing to work with me, like as partners? So I contacted Kachins and told them, please be my partner. And so I was asking for their franchisee. So they would all obviously be happy to do that. I'll be spending the money. I'll be building their brand. But I knew the need. I knew the problem. But this seemed very easy. So I'll just say something on this. If you find something very easily, like if you're getting something very easily, then it means that 99% of the times it's wrong. So if you're getting something on a very difficult stage, so I had the question, I didn't have the answers yet. And this was the 4th semester. The entire 4th semester I spent on this. I visited different places. I searched online how to get horsehair canvas in India. And finally, I got to know about this store in Bandra, Bombay General Stores. So I visited that store after lectures, and there was a huge queue outside that store. And I asked the people around them. So they said कि वो जो खड़ा हुआ है, that's Manish Malhotra का assistant designer. That's Azza Kazim's assistant designer. That's Sabyasachi ka designer. So I said, what are these people doing here? So this is the entire hub for tailoring materials. And this was, you guys must have seen Lucky Restaurant in Bandra. So this store is, like there's a lane beside Lucky Restaurant. This is Bandra West Side local station. And that lane was also very old, like Dharavi only, like it was a proper slum. And inside that, the store was there. So I went to the store, I asked them, ki, I need horsehair canvas. So they were looking, ki, I've asked for something, drugs or something, because they were looking at that kind of look, ki horsehair canvas hi ladka mang raha hai. It's expensive, it's around 5,200 rupees per meter at that time. So I told him, ki, I want to get these suits made. So do you have a contact or something? Then he gave me a contact number. I called that person just outside the store. And he came, he took me to another narrow lane, and first floor he had his small room in which there was a mannequin, there was a cutting table, and on that mannequin was a blazer, beige color blazer. So I was looking at the blazer, he told me ki ye Hrithik Roshan ka blazer hai. And I was actually shocked, and finally I got the answer. So the fashion world is very bright and rich from the outside, but the back end, the back end is very dirty. The people who are making these outfits, the workers, the factories are very are in those narrow lanes only. And I actually wanted to go to these back end places only. And finally, I got to know about this person, Shan. He told me about his brother, and I'm telling you because his brother works for me right now. So his brother was working with Nivedita Sabu at that time at 80,000 rupees per month ka salary. Nivedita Sabu was also giving him a two-wheeler or a car for commute, and also a flat, which was the rent was paid by Nivedita Sabu's company. So I imagined at that time I can never, employ this guy to work for me, because 80,000 a month, I was not even capable of earning 80,000 a month at that time. And how will I employ that person? So, so with Shan, I got to know everything. He told me everything about these designers, where they get these outfits made, and all the answers were sorted, and fourth semester was done. So now I went to Bhopal again, between the second and third year, 2 months gap. So I started this in Bhopal. So now I'll tell you how I got my first client in Bhopal with this service. So till this time, the name was sorted, Clodo, clothes on dough. It was a simple concept, a very newbie concept, and a very normal name, which was very normal name, Clodo. But now it's trademarked, so I can strongly say, yeah, the name is good. But okay, so I went to Bhopal, and Bhopal mein I called this person. I got to know about a contact. He was a very rich guy. He's a very rich guy in Bhopal. He owns a lot of hotels in Bhopal. So I got to know from a friend that this guy is having his wedding, and he was so rich, I thought he'll be buying suits from Armani, but let's still give it a try. So I got his father's number, and I messaged him a proper emotional message. I created ki, uncle, I'm doing this thing. I'm a new guy, and if you want anything, you can just approach me. You can call me. I'll come to your place. I'll show you fabric samples. I'll take your measurements, and everything will be delivered to your doorstep. So he didn't reply. But after a week, his son called me. Ki, listen, bro, I've got all my suits from Armani as expected, but I want a very cheap sherwani for my wedding because I don't want to spend much on it. But his not spending much on it means 30,000-40,000 he'll spend. So I went to his place. Till that time, I didn't take any measurements. I went with a local tailor with him, local tailor to his place. I got his outfits done. And this was an extra sale from from my old store only. And then my dad realized, yes, this can be a business, and you don't need a store to, do some business. And this was an additional client for my dad, and I paid him, Papa, ye aapke kapde ke paise, ye meri tailoring ke paise, ab main ye leke ja raha hu. So sorted. Then I came back to Bombay, and I got all my samples. So I started with that Raymond ka chota sa booklet, and by the starting of 5th semester, I had a suitcase, American Tourister ka suitcase, bada wala, with with all the samples of my store. So the entire store I had in a suitcase. So now in Bombay, I thought, where should I get my first client? So 5th semester, I shifted to a new flat. It was in Simla House, Malabar Hill only. For the first week, I noticed one guy, Dr. Sambhav Shah. This guy was, he looked very smart, and every day he was wearing a new blazer. So I thought he can be, a client for me. And he used to live on 4th floor. I was living on the 5th floor. So one day I saw him coming from the office for lunch. I knocked his house's door, and he came outside. I told him, I'm doing this. I just pura chitta pada maine bata diya usko ki, okay, I'm doing this thing. I'll come to your place. And whatever I had in my mind, I had a brochure made and gave the brochure to him. I told him my blazers cost around 25,000, 30,000, premium things I'm doing. And then he opened his Gujarati mouth and he said, 4,000 ka blazer I buy. And if you want to give it to me at that rate, and I'll be having beer at my house and you can show me samples. So I said, okay, that can be done. So he took my card and he said, I'll contact you. So 1 week to 10 days, I was busy with college also and something, and got some suits made from Shan for myself, so that he knows I'm a guy who can give him work. So I got 2 to 3 suits made for myself from Shan, and to see what's the quality he's given. And finally, Sambhav Shah called me after 10 days, and he told me my sister is getting married and the groom wants to get something done. And this is how I got my first client in Mumbai. And this guy already had all the fabrics sorted. I just had to provide tailoring services. So whatever Shan was quoting me, because Shan was also quoting me a very high price because I wasn't getting things done from him. So whatever he quoted to me, I quoted to this guy. I went with Shan to his place, took his measurements, took around 15 days to complete this order. We made around 7-8 suits for him and his achkin and everything. I didn't earn a single penny. I lost around 5,000 rupees on Uber and everything. But I completed this order. And then people started, this guy started telling this to other people. So word of mouth was working. And people started saving my number as Taylor. So on Truecaller, during my college days, Sudhir Simani, Taylor, bracket mein. My family still makes fun of this. So I was a tailor in Bombay, and all the Gujaratis from South Bombay started approaching me. And through this family only, this Sambhav Shah, Michelle Shah, all these people started telling their friends and everybody. So I got, every week I used to get 1 or 2 calls, and I started working from it. It was very flexible for them because after work at 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. in the night, I used to visit their places to show them samples, because even I was free at that time. There was no work. And so night mein, they used to call me 12 a.m. pay, 1 a.m. pay trials. I've taken a trial for a client who was leaving early morning, 7 a.m. flight. He had an international flight, and 1 a.m. pay, I took his suits ka trial. I had a pocket machine for payments. He paid me something. He was drunk that night. He had to leave early morning. I took his payment. I just left. Chalo bhaiya, ho gaya, payment to ho gaya. And so word of mouth say I got new clients for the entire 3rd year. So I told you, instead of earning, I was saving in the beginning. And 3rd year, the things shifted. So I learned from someone in my family that if you, if you get worried about the spendings, you won't earn that much. So don't save, earn more. So I started earning more and spending more. So my 3rd year was sorted. For the first 2 years, I didn't go to many clubs or something, but 3rd year was, I enjoyed my 3rd year in college, and it was fun. I was earning my own money. And then I got an offer in Bombay only from a client. He told me to open a store in Colaba. I don't have to invest anything. He had his place, everything was sorted. But I refused that. I came back to Bhopal and told my father, we have to open a very good store in Bhopal. And I have sorted everything. For my college project, I presented a proper plan of that retail store. Everything which I had in mind at the time of college, I actually have it right now live, because I see my store. Just one thing, many things change, because obviously when you think, you don't understand the practicality of that topic. So my dad purchased a property, and he started with building the entire project. And throughout, like till the end, he was asking me, what's the name of the store? I said, Clodor hi rahega store, nahi to nahi kholenge, aapka koi naam nahi rahega, Clodor hi naam rahega. So he said, Clodor ka meaning kya hai? Koi samjhega nahi. What's the name? What's wrong with you? So we opened the store at the name of Clodor only, and he took a lot of loans to build that building. And till that time, I was handling the business. He became a builder for that year. My dad's not a builder for that year. He was a builder, and so I wanted to remove the outsourced tailoring thing, and I wanted to start my own factory. So at that time, we didn't even have that much orders. It was a very risky thing. And throughout the story, from the first semester to the college has ended, the intensity of the problems which I faced has increased, and it will increase like in future also. So after 2 years, if I'll be talking to you guys, I'll be telling you bigger problems. But like that time, at the time of starting my own factory, I took my first loan in life, and I also partnered with my uncle. So he invested around 5 lakh. I invested around 5 lakh rupees, and we bought 8 machines, stitching machines. Right now, by the way, I have 25 machines with me. So 8 machines we started, and the place was my uncle's. He said, I won't charge any rent for it, and I'll be 50% partner to your business. But that factory was in losses for 2 years. And because I didn't know how to run a factory, there were different cases. I didn't even have proper work with me to give work to those workers. And my dad told me, I'll build the store in 1 year. And it took him 2 years to build that building. So for 2 years, I had to run a factory with less work, but I had a plan in mind that I have to open the new store. So as I got few clients in Bombay, similarly, this was also a new stage in Bhopal. I visited different places, different retail stores that just give me work. I want to run my factory. I'll give you the cheapest rates possible. I supplied to different retail stores, which were even at a brand value rate, they were even below my brand. But still, I supplied to them to just run my factory. There were daily issues. One day, the worker fainted at night, 1 a.m. And I got a call from supervisor. He told me ki, Bhaiya, aisa ho gaya. So I took him to hospital because they have come to this city to work for me, for my company. So my company had the responsibility. So then came COVID-19. And as any other business, my business was also facing huge problems. The Clodo flagship store was not started. It was delayed by 1 year. And because of the lockdown more, and all our funds were we had nothing, we didn't have any liquid money. Then because in college, I learned something in the finance stream because I was in the finance stream. So I invested some money in mutual funds. So this time I took all the funds from it to survive. The factory survived for 3 months after lockdown. We had clearly in mind that we'll shut down the factory, and this is not our cup of tea. We'll shut the business and we'll do something, and we'll do the same outsourced tailoring kind of thing. After COVID, we still continued, we survived. And after COVID, there were no weddings because my business is a seasonal business. When weddings are there, then my business is there. So after COVID, there were no weddings. It was a rainy season. And still the factory survived for three months. And then came the wedding season. And in 3 months, both the stores were working. Both the stores had the highest sales we have ever seen in our lives. And finally, the loans were paid off. The factory was ours. And interesting part, for 2 years, my uncle never came to me. We were 50-50 partners. So what's the loss? What's the profit? He didn't even charge rent from us. But when we started doing great, he asked for rent for the entire 2.5 years, which amounted to around 4.55 lakhs. I didn't even think for 1 second, and I paid him the entire amount. Right now, my factory is at my other place. It's not my uncle's. No relative is involved. And we pay regular rent on it. So this is also a learning which I will tell you afterwards. And so we survived after COVID. We are surviving right now. And we have 2 running stores with 25 machines right now. We are shipping all over India and even worldwide right now. sold few outfits in US last week, and there's a good review on Google also. And so yeah, this was the story, and I guess I'll tell you some interesting things now, which were a part of the story, which I think are the biggest learning you can get. But there will be different learnings for you guys also. But the most important, I guess, would be firstly, after that books exchange wala presentation in college, when the other group presented a lot. So that was actually a reality check for me. But that was not the end of the story. That was just the beginning. Secondly, I actually got to know that I was very resourceful throughout the time of this story, because whatever the person asked from me, I researched for it and tried to deliver that on time, and that's how I got the resources done. And the thing I told you about that Santosh Industry ka order, which I took for the hand towels. So basically, I got an order for 2,500 hand towels. We sent a mail to Raymond ordering 2,500 units of hand towels, but we didn't know that those, like the Raymond packs which come, one pack has 2 hand towels. So we ordered 2,500 hand towels. We got 5,000 hand towels. I still have around 500 hand towels at my place right now. And my mom says कि तेरी शादी पे ही अभी सबको gift देंगे. So that order was also profitable, but there was no profit because the stock is still with me. So if you see the big things, small things also matter. So we were so stupid to order 2,500 sets, but we didn't know that every set has 2 hand towels. So that was that. And one important learning I'll tell you guys. So I was very impatient throughout my college, and so whatever happened, I used to be disturbed by it, and I always had ki abhi tak kyun nahi solution mila. I had a question in mind. It took me 4 to 5 months to find that guy. So those 4 to 5 months, I used to be so disturbed. I couldn't sleep at night. So this is wrong actually. So if you are patient in business, and I learned it right now because every day is a new problem. Today I solved around 6 to 7 problems. It's my day off, but still I got work calls. I had 6 to 7 issues today. Every issue is solved. Some issues will be solved tomorrow. Everything can be done. So you just have to be patient, and things will actually go, and you will actually solve every problem. So this was the story, guys. It's not a 100 crore business story, but it will definitely grow to another level. And I wish after 2 years, if I tell you guys, so from here to the other 2 years, the story would be different, and the intensity of the problems would be high, and but still we'll actually solve that. So thank you so much.
Sudhir, the point is, one of the important thing which I also have seen, there are businesses who trend on the social media, and you say, oh my God, this has so many followers and all, but there is no money, right?
Yeah.
So there's a difference, and this, the younger generation gets carried away. Okay, fine. So that's something which is very, very important, and that was precisely a reason, how you have grown is right from college, and how every bit of your time with college you have used. And another important point, what everybody could see is it's not about the new opportunity, what kind of very new innovative idea. I mean, small things you keep on doing, and with experimentation and all, you finally get something more. So I think I will not, one of the things, Sudhir, we had that start your venture thing where you presented, remember?
Yeah,
No.
yes.
Yeah, that also.
Yeah,
so he actually, one last thing, he actually took every single opportunity to talk about his venture and get so that was the best thing. Though that time there were no triple A's, huh? So I don't know, Sudhir, you are not aware about, there's another thing which people have in mind is triple A's. I'll tell and I'm glad that wasn't there that time, because things are very different, right? Anyway, so I think I would, let's have questions. Those who have questions to Sudhir.
Ma'am, can I start?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my question is from the logical point of view. So like you were in third year and you got an offer to open a store in Bombay where you don't needed to invest any money. So why to like risk taking loan and like start doing business in Bhopal? Because I did my schooling in Bhopal, and
Yeah.
lot of people go to us like same store there. They're like from like 50, 40 years, their family go to the same store. So I think it was a risky move.
Okay, so this is Siddharth Patel, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Siddharth, firstly, I didn't like Bombay as such. For the first 2 years, I loved it. For the third year, I enjoyed I had my best time in Bombay. But the life over there was a bit competitive, a bit faster for me. So I wanted to do something in my own city because I have a proper base over here. And I can't trust a new guy in a city. I wanted to trust my father. So he had a dream in mind that he wants to do something big in his own city. So I took forward that thing. I didn't think for a second to open a store in Bombay. And I'm very happy about it because I actually don't want to live in Bombay. I wanted something peaceful, and I find that peace in this city. So that's why I took that. And the risk part you told me. So there are 2 3 stores in Bhopal which have the like proper monopoly in custom made clothes, and I have reached on the second from top and second in Bhopal right now as a clothing brand. There's another person, but at the time when I started, I was nowhere in the top 10 list also. So obviously there's a risk. I didn't have a new idea, but I actually used all the concepts of management I could, and my store is very well managed compared to them because I had some education in mind. So yeah, I took that risk. It was a risk actually, but it worked out. It worked out well.
So it was a personal decision. I mean, some of the things are like, emotional, where you have that kind of thing, right? Okay. Yeah. Next, any other question? Next.
Ma'am, can I ask one more question?
Yeah. Sure, sure.
Ma'am, so the thing is that my sister is doing designing right now. She's doing her master's in uh from abroad, and she's also planning to open a store kind of like this thing. And the thing is that like she from her college she went for like a fashion week in Delhi. So
Mm.
the cost of like producing a single outfit was way too much, way too much. So like how were you able to like reduce the cost at the starting?
See,
Because
actually,
I
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Complete the
sure,
question.
sure. Yeah, nothing.
Okay, so firstly, what I had in Bhopal was it was an old store, and the prices were already set. So I knew the prices that I have to. What's the market? There's a particular price which customer is ready to pay. So the average price of a suit was 10,000 in Bhopal. So I knew that I had to bring the cost down to that level. But it's not possible in the first 2 years. So I told you the factory was in losses for first 2 years. So the cost of production for me was much higher than any local tailor, and I was providing the best qualities because if you if I was giving to a local tailor a normal money, and I didn't know, I don't have any idea if that money was reaching to the worker. But in my own factory, I was paying the worker, so I paid the perfect price for what he was making, and the quality was actually really good. But for the first 2 years, even I wasn't able to bring the prices down. I'm still in the process of bringing the prices much down, which I'm paying right now. But still, it has come to that level where I can. It's a proper profitable business. But for the first initial 2 years, till the time you don't deal in quantity, you can't reduce the prices. If you're selling, like big designers sell one outfit in a week. There are designers here. There are designers in Mumbai who are providing like one outfit every week because it's that capacity they are working on. And the cost of that outfit comes to some level. They add their profit margins to it. So the amount is huge. And what I deal in quantity. Right now, my current capacity is around 35 trousers in one day, and 22 blazers in a day, and 35 shirts in a day. So that's the capacity we are working on right now. So obviously my cost would be lower than the big designers working. And that's why I was able to capture the market over here.
Yeah. Naveen, you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. So my question is, when you initially started this business in Bhopal, so what strategy you used to bring initial customers to you? Means the, the customers there would have tailors in their circle. So what did you do to bring that customers to you?
See, firstly, me and my dad have a simple plan. We never want to open stores which are like, in outskirts of the city or somewhere. So we open in the middle of the market where we can get the walk-in clients. So my store has the maximum number of mannequins. So every walk-in customer, even if he's having an ice cream, that guy enters my store and sometimes pays 1 lakh rupees to me after 2 hours. He was having ice cream, he was just passing by that lane, and he enters my store. And other thing, we used Instagram as a very important mode. So through Instagram, we have got many clients, and every day there's 2 or 3 clients coming to my store from the page. We have already seen your page and we like this outfit, you have more, and then they come to the store. So there's a retail base we have, but we also had a online reach. So that's what worked for us. And actually, we don't actually plan to open more stores now. Earlier, I'll tell you this also. So basically, whatever plans you have in mind for, like, if you would have asked me around 1 year back, what do you see Clodor as after 5 years? So I would have told you, I want to enter, smaller towns than even Bhopal. There are like on the outskirts of Bhopal or small tier 2, tier 3 cities. So that was my plan, because these cities are untapped markets. So if I don't want to open a store in Mumbai, because there's already a lot of competition. I'll be actually dead with the rent I'll be paying. So we always work rent free. Whatever we'll be earning, we'll be investing in another property to buy a store. That was our plan 1 year back. But then we have shifted to another plan. Right now, our future plan is to grow online. And we have actually created a concept where you can actually sit at your place and you can get your custom made outfits. So there's a proper measurement formula. And through that, we are supplying to US. Through that, we are supplying to all the cities in India. Sitting in Bhopal, I've supplied to every city, every state, I guess, except some in the Northeast. But I've supplied to every state in India. So now we have decided to grow this thing online. And the next thing would be going international. Like, I was thinking of smaller cities. Now I'm thinking international. That if I'm getting more clients from Australia, I'll actually open a small store in Australia. I'll send a person from here. He'll get his PR because we'll be investing in a store over there. He'll be showing the samples and we'll be making the outfits from here. And that's very cost friendly. In US and Australia, you get a suit for 1.5 lakh rupees. If you're giving a suit for 40,000 rupees, it's like nothing for them. And at 40,000 rupees, you can earn a lot of money. So that's what our business plan, our future plan is right now. It may change after 1 year, but that's how it goes.
Okay, great. So one of the important points, guys, if you have to look at it, is from now, because you all are going to work on your practice venture. Now you call it as a practice venture or a venture, right? The reason why I requested Sudhir at such a short notice to come in, because that's very, very important, that something which he start with a small idea. I mean, from there he started working, he went and did. If you actually look at it, he never thought what he has today, that this is something which he will have in the first year of the program, right? Or the second year of the program. Now it's up to you whether you want to take up whatever as a practice venture, as like, a hypothetical thing where you just keep on working, and or you want to do something where you actually have something substantial, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like, how it has helped. him to even take his family business ahead. So sometimes a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to have my startup, like, you know, I mean, why should I have a family business? But the point here is you have to take your even family business ahead, right? So now what kind of learnings can be used? And that is where your practice venture or your venture, whatever you think of or whatever idea you have to start doing a lot of research. If you actually see, he actually has broken down his journey from his semester wise journey, right? Every time, whatever he has, he had to quickly do research, go search, do work, like, you know, somewhere down the line, and which is actually benefiting, right? Nowhere he's talking about that I'm a graduate and I have a degree and I've got these many marks and my CGPA and SGPA is this much and all. That's okay. That is definitely be there. But beyond that, what you actually do is going to make a lot of difference. And that's one of the things, like, you know, I mean, when we look at the problem, so how you have to look ahead with the problem, because that's now you will be starting with your venture journey. So every single thing which he has very beautifully listed down in just 35 minutes was actually for 2.5 years, I would say. And I've seen him carrying, and why I was asking question is because it's very important that when he was your age, what he was doing, and when right now, if what kind of things you are doing. I'm not saying do the same thing, do something substantial, right? Something which you can own and talk about it. I mean, something after 2 years, 3 years down the line, you have a story to talk about, right? You have some kind of a learning to work on, to say, and during college, right? So that was one of the reason when you look at it, how to, I mean, he said, like, you know, have to look at the market size. I mean, he's saying, I was thinking of going to even smaller cities, or now he's saying, I'm thinking of moving towards international markets. So he's trying to bring two different perspectives, is the market size, the growth potential. So when you are looking for your idea or working on your idea, you have to look at the growth potential. I mean, when is the time to do something? It's now. Right. So, and it is all about doing research, working on it and taking it ahead. So that was another important point which he said, and of course, I mean, it's not easy, guys. It's very it's like, you know, I've seen him carrying all these Raymond suits and all in the full thing in the college also. So I've seen the way he is, and when he said, like, you know, somebody, like, you know, his name was Taylor and all that, not only he, I've seen all the other ventures which now are doing even 100 crore ka business also, or have actually had a problem initially and have even starved also. Right. So don't even, and they were our own Hind students. So like, you know, so that is something, I mean, somebody I know who had started a venture and now has sold it for 200 crores in 10 years. No post-graduation. Started the right time. I think 200 crores is reasonably good money, no? To make in 10 years. Yeah. No AAA. No AAA.
It actually happened in 10 years, no? So this is what actually you guys should learn, that it's a process. Overnight nothing will happen. I didn't know that I'll be doing this. I was not into the space of fashion designing or stuff. And right now, if I tell you what my work is at the store, so I sit in my office, I handle online orders. The store is handled by the staff. There are salespeople, there are super factory. There's this guy, I'm paying this guy, the brother of Shan, I'm paying this guy 1 lakh rupees because Sabu was offering him 85,000. I paid him 1 lakh rupees. He's getting calls from Sabyasachi right now, but he won't leave me because I'm paying him a lot of money. And so my work at the store is, I just, at the final stage of the outfit, I take the measurements. So this is the least, you know, the least of the job at my store, taking measurement. But that's the most important thing. And that's what I got the need from the people, because people didn't believe the designers, because designers are actually, you know, they tell everything. They tell you that they'll provide you this, this will happen, they'll draw a sketch, they'll do this. I do the most basic thing which is there. I take the measurements, and I take the measurements with all the nakhra and all. At 20 minutes I take the measurements, and the person is like, at 30 minutes उसने नाप लिया, शायद अच्छा ही बनाया होगा कुछ ना कुछ.
So these are on recording, huh?
So yeah, so,
Okay.
so that's the most lean, like menial job at my store. That's what I'm doing right now, and that's what is paying me the most. That's the most important thing. And so overnight nothing will happen, and it's a process. And whenever in that process, you'll actually come to know, you will deviate from different paths. Like you'll be going to some path, and then you will deviate to other thing, and that happens, and only then you'll be able to create a business. So you don't have to be overconfident that my idea is the best, and whatever criticism I'm getting, I'll just overcome that. That's overconfidence. You should be confident that I have to prove, and the only proof you can give is sales. So whenever a person asks you what your idea is rubbish, so what proof you can give? So you just have to tell him the sales you have done, and for that you'll obviously have to go in the market. You'll get your first customer, and you'll have to hustle for it, and then only you will be creating 100 crore, 200 crore, or even more crore business.
Wow, very nice. So I think before the next session, now you have to start thinking on the idea which you want to pursue, and accordingly, but it has to be as, we are very clear about it. It's nothing, no, not your class projects and all that. Like, generally when you just think of, okay, PPT bana do, doc bana ke de do, ye left, right kar do, you can't fool anybody here. Huh? So it's something which is very, very important. And so I think on similar lines, lines means not the same idea. I'm talking about on similar lines, you have to start your thought process, and you have to start working on it. You will get your team names. You need to have meetings before I meet in the next class, and your team should be ready with the whatever, at least 2 to 3 ideas, and fill up in that template which was sent to you on your Google Classroom. Huh? So now the journey begins.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my best wishes are all with this team, Sudhir, and I will invite you at some point of time later on, after 15-20 days. Let them work on their ideas and create their social media pages or whatever. Everything they have to do real, huh, Sudhir? अभी उनको कुछ ऐसा नहीं, कोई hypothetical नहीं. सेल्स करके मतलब सेल्स करके दिखाना है उनको, ऑनलाइन लेके ही आना है. They can't be sitting. And if the business requires money, the team has to invest money. So if they get up and tell me that, ma'am, my business requires 2 lakh, I need funds, they have to shell the money, or else they have to reduce the cost. Otherwise, they can go and ask the parent that I am doing a course in foundational course and pre-incubation program. उसमें 2 lakh का खर्चा है, तो वो पैसा डालो, नहीं तो cost reduce करो. Choice is yours.
Actually, you guys should consider this. The college fees which they are charging, it's actually nothing. And
सुधीर हमने और कम कर दिया है, सुधीर और 2000 कम कर दिया है.
So people like us who travel from different cities, we pay a huge amount of money. And that's why actually whenever you spend money, only then you have some stake in it, and then only you work. So I had all my stake. I was spending 50,000 a month. So I thought I have to do something, man. I'll be spending 18 lakh rupees in 3 years. I calculated everything. So 18 lakh rupees, is this course actually helping me to earn that 18 lakh rupees? So yes, it helped me.
We have to revise the fees now for only for one program. We have a little okay fees, but Jai Hind mein jitne bhi courses हैं, they are much low priced across all other universities.
You should take the money and
nahi, हाँ sir, Sudeep, correct. College should charge. Yeah, you are right. हाँ, thank you. हाँ, मैं सिंधी बुद्धि ना थोड़ा हम use होना चाहिए, नहीं हम नहीं, so that's nice. So I mean, so Sudhir, now you have I will invite you once where you will listen to their ideas, and with the not only ideas, it has to be an executed thing, huh? And they have to do it in next 15 days, huh? Yes. Right. So they have to have enough meetings, whatever day, night, whatever, I don't care, whatever time, in their own meetings and all that, with their own whatever team, and have to do it, and they have to invest money, huh? So within the team and all that, and I don't know, and the losses are there, profits are there. So we are not taking anything. We are not even asking for anything, huh? But they have to do it. Fine. So you will have more such people coming up who will be, and you will have to present it later on to the jury also, where you have to put the numbers and the milestones. Huh? So that will also be there. So that's so. Thank you very much, Sudhir. I'm so grateful, and God bless you, Sudhir. I've really seen the way you have you have grown, and the kind of money you are making. It's really, God bless you. More Lakshmi and more and more money. That's good. And especially I always appreciate, like, you know, the way even pandemic, how businesses have survived and have really pivoted. It's extremely important. And so to Sudhir, it was a nice decision that you did not start in Bombay, because the competition would have been huge. And like, you know, there's no point having two businesses in an isolation, where one is in Bhopal and Bombay, and then again Bombay, so many people had to shut down their shops because it's really expensive. And you know, you don't get your clients also, where is the money. So that is also, which is very important. So, and I think what has happened had happened, you took a right decision. And and we really wish you more success. And God bless you. Thank you very much, Sudhir, at such a short notice, because I had to bring that context to the group. So I requested you, and you agreed for the same. So thanks a lot. Anything else, Mike?
Any entrepreneur doesn't have to prepare for his story. This story is always in my mind. You call me at night and tell me, Sudhir, tell me your story. I'll actually tell the story to anyone. But very few people know this. My dad also doesn't know the entire story, where I went and got these things done. So Bombay is a big city. What it seems from outside, it's very different in the inside. So I have been to the inside, and that's why I kind of had something that I won't live in this city, because there was a lot of racial gap was there. And so yeah. And one more thing, as you said, like businesses got shut after COVID. So earlier we used to, like in studies also, we used to study that debt equity ratio should be 1:1. So like you should you can get a loan for 50% of the amount you have to invest, and 50% should be yours. But that has actually changed with the time. And right now, for like, in my experience, you should have 90% of the equity and 10% debt, because without debt you can't grow. But these uncertainties and the uncertain market, the rents, they will kill you. So that's why you should have 90% of your own money invested, because these debts and the interest, these things shut the businesses down. And that's what happened after COVID. We were lucky to survive it because we had more equity and less debt. And that's what I'll suggest. Whenever you guys scale your thing, you should have more of the equity.
Thank you very much, Sudhir. Maika, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. So your journey was very inspirational, because at the moment we are also all 18, 19, 20-year-olds. So I think being in a situation that exactly you were when you began your venture, I think it's really going to motivate all the pre-incubators also right now to work on their ventures, and actually maybe few of them can actually maybe be in a similar situation what you are right now after 5-6 years, because of a venture that they began when they were 18, 19 in FY, SY or TY. So thank you for being here and sharing your whole journey and story with us.
Thank you so much for having me, and all the best, guys. You will, if you work well for it, you will actually do wonders. And 15 days, 20 days, you should work a lot on this, whatever like thing is there in the next 20 days. So work well, all the best, guys. And it was a pleasure to host this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudhir. There are two students who have not joined the Google Classroom. Sorry, Karthik Agrawal, are you there?